What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. The trade deadline was just upon us, and now we got to keep doing our post-trade deadline rebuilds. We already went ahead and did the Los Angeles Lakers, and now it's time to talk about my favorite team, the Portland Trailblazers. And I know for a lot of people, this was one of the more confusing trade deadlines for a team that has Damian Lillard, and I completely agree with you. But now that I've gotten to sleep on it, I guess I kind of understand what they're doing, but it's still pretty dumb in my opinion. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and just jump in, talk about everything, and do this post-trade deadline Portland Trailblazers rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. So let's go ahead and just start off with what the Blazers did at the deadline. Basically, they went ahead and traded Josh Hart and Gary Payton at the trade deadline, and they walked away with a first-round pick from the Knicks, Cameron Reddish, Ryan Arcidiacono, and they also have Kevin Knox now. They have also Matisse Thybulle. So they went ahead and got 3 young wings. They netted like 3 second-round picks because they got 5 from the Gary Payton trade, but 2 of them were used for Matisse Thybulle. And so, yeah, they basically, it felt like they punted at the deadline, and this felt like a teardown in a way if you want to go that route. And yeah, that makes sense. What I think is happening right now, and if you're not aware of this, the Blazers do not own, like they do own their picks, but they're all locked up in protections from the Larry Nance Jr. trade with the Chicago Bulls. The Blazers can't trade any future first because of the Larry Nance trade that happened with Chicago before the new GM got here. So all their picks are locked up in protection. So it's very hard to make a win now move when you can't trade your first round picks, obviously. So what I'm thinking is, it seems like, well, we can't really do anything. So why not just try to get more assets? And I don't even know if you'd call what we got assets. Got 1 first, which maybe that could turn into something. Matisse Thybulle, Cameron Reddish, Kevin Knox are all guys right now. You could make an argument that just really, they're kind of projects. They haven't really worked out from where they were playing. Matisse Thybulle just never can be consistent on offense. But Cameron Reddish hasn't found a role in the league. And then Kevin Knox, kind of the same thing. So it's a weird deadline. And this summer is going to be pivotal to what this team is doing. It really sucks they're kicking the big decision down the road once again. This is what it feels like. You either need to choose your Damian Lillard timeline, or you need to choose the young timeline, because there's a bunch of young players here, and you got like 3 or so veterans here with Dame, Jeremy Grant, and Nurkic. Which timeline are you going to choose? That's what this team needs to decide. Now that I've got my rant out of the way and got everything that I needed to say, let's go ahead and see what this rotation is about to look like. So if we look at it right now, they got Dame, Thybulle, Reddish starting. That's clearly not what it's going to be. Let's go ahead and fix that. So first off, we're going to move Nasir Little to small forward, because I think Nasir Little will probably start at small forward just because he's been here. Unless they give it to Cameron Reddish, which I guess they could. We'll see. And then I know for a fact the reason why Simons isn't starting is because Chauncey Billups' system is, of course, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Perimeter centric, or we need to move it to a perimeter centric system because we're not playing a defensive system. This team sucks on defense. So what is even the point of that? So let's go ahead, go to perimeter centric, and now we can look at the rotation actually. So the biggest thing is this team could technically still make the playoffs. They definitely could, maybe from the play-in tournament. Dame's still playing the best basketball of his career right now. So it's Dame, Simons, Little, Jeremy Grant, Nurkic, Drew Eubanks, Trendon Watford, Shaedon Sharpe, Matisse Thybulle, and Cameron Reddish. So we're going to just go ahead, simulate the rest of this season. We're going to see how this goes. Will this team make the playoffs and free up all their future picks? Because if they make the playoffs, the pick finally conveys and all their picks are freed up. But if we're in the lottery, all of our picks will still be locked up, and they're going to have to be very creative on how they can convince Chicago to give them their pick back. So it's going to be a pivotal offseason. Once we get there, we got some big decisions to make here. That's all I got to say. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to choose overs or unders on your favorite players that you enjoy watching each and every day. It is available on mobile or desktop, and this is how it looks. They give you the number, and you're going to choose over or under on it. They pretty much have every sport you can imagine, whether it's soccer, NFL, NHL. They have a ton of different options. So this is how it works. You choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 being 3 times your money, all the way up to 6 players, 25 times your money. Prize Picks has just elevated my watching experience to a whole new level. So if you want to sign up, I also have some of my entries as examples here. That way you can kind of see how it works. But if you want to sign up, links in the description. Use code Crushables. They match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. So Luka wins MVP, Paul is your Rookie of the Year, Russell Westbrook 6th man on the Oklahoma City Thunder, so he returns to OKC. That's kind of fun. Joel Embiid Defensive Player, Şengün Most Improved. Okay, do we get Dame on an All-NBA team? We do not, so that kind of sucks to see. That's all good, though. And we did not make the playoffs, so this team went ahead and did not make it. The next biggest thing we need to see is if the Knicks made it, and the Knicks are in the play-in right now. So The biggest thing about the Knicks pick that we got from the Josh Hart trade, if the Knicks don't miss the playoffs, or if they don't make the playoffs, it turns into 4 seconds. So we'll see. Do the Knicks get there is the question. Okay, they won that game, but do they get in the playoffs here? They do. So we get the Knicks first round pick, so that's kind of huge. And now we're going to have our own still as well. But all of our future picks will still be locked up. Like I said, big pivotal offseason moment here for the Blazers. They've kicked the big decision down the road once again. Got Celtics versus Warriors, and you got the Celtics getting revenge, beating the Warriors in 7 games this time. So now it is time for the first step of this offseason process. And it is very, very possible that this Blazers team does not make the playoffs with how worse they got at the deadline. So we are projected the 8th overall pick. So let's just go ahead and see where our pick falls. This is going to be huge. So Miami is going to get 14. I'm actually just going to skip the results. Let's just see where our pick falls. And our pick is going to be number 10. So it dropped from 8 to 10. And then we end up having also the Knicks pick, which is going to be 15, which actually is a pretty good first round pick right outside the lottery. So that's a pretty good trade from the Josh Hart trade. I'll say that. At least that's how it worked out in 2K for us. Now, the next big thing is, like I said, this summer, this team, I will be upset if they kick the big decision down the road once again. Which timeline are you choosing? Is it going to be the Dame timeline where you're trying to win a championship, or are you going to go the Simons, Anthony Sharp timeline? Which one are you choosing? You need to make that decision. So if we try to trade Dame right now, if we try to free Dame, we got no offers right now. So I don't have to be very creative if we do trade Dame. And the last Blazers rebuild that I did, if you really think about it, who are the Blazers going to get in the offseason that's going to turn this team into a contender? I'm assuming they're going to keep Jeremy Grant. They're going to try to keep Simons unless you're getting somebody like really damn good. I just don't even know what the biggest name is that you can snag. Maybe if Paul George becomes available, you could convince Paul George to come play with you. I don't know how that would work out. Siakam always is a name, of course, but it seems like the Raptors are not willing to do that. They bought at the deadline for Pirtle, so who knows what the Raptors are going to do. And then maybe Karl-Anthony Towns could be available. But the last Blazers rebuild that I did a rebuild where I rebuilt the Blazers until I got Damian Lillard a championship. So today, I think I'm going to go the other direction. We are going to go ahead and trade Damian Lillard. It is time, man, unfortunately. At least in the game. Like I said, if the Blazers in real life can find a way to throw a contender together in one offseason, shout out to you. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. And I've already kind of accepted that. So today, we are going to go ahead and choose the young timeline because that's the majority of where our players are at right now. They're all pretty young. So, Dame, I love you. We're playing a damn video game, so I don't need to get all dramatic. But still, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably trade Damian Lillard here. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and jump into the draft and go ahead and pick at 10 and 15 because a lot of these players that I would want are on team and player options. And of course, you can accept options for the draft. So if we take a look at what's available on the board, you got Carson Wallace, you got one of the Thompson twins. Both the Thompson twins, I believe, were on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and take, which one do I want? Dariq Whitehead, you got Jared Walker. Do I take the other? I don't know which Thompson twin is better, to be honest with you. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and take the one who's on top of the board, and Amin Thompson. We'll bring him in to be our new small forward probably, even though he's listed at point guard. And then at number 15, we got Dariq Whitehead still available, Colby Jones, Jared Walker, Chris Murray, Grant Dickey. I think you go ahead and take Dariq Whitehead here as well. And you walk away pretty nicely there. So we walk away with a 78 overall. And then Amin Thompson went right after that, or Sar Thompson did, I should say. And we got Dariq Whitehead. So not a bad draft by any means. So sign both these guys and then player options. So after all these are accepted, it should be easier to trade Dame now. Qualifying offers, Reddish and Thibault are both restricted free agents. So like I said, we are going to go ahead and choose a young timeline today and just, kind of look ourselves in the mirror and realize that building a contender around Dame just probably isn't going to happen. So if we just use a trade finder as a tool real quick, because I know there won't be a realistic trade that pops up in the trade finder, but we can try. So Paul George, Bones Highland, probably not going to happen. Fox Mitchell, Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Ingram, Trey Murphy. Okay. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if the Pelicans would do that, though. That's kind of... and I got Ingram yesterday, so I don't want to do that again. Cunningham, Jalen Duren. I don't see that happening. The Spurs, I don't know why they would buy. The Thunder, I guess if the Thunder were looking to be like, okay, let's maximize Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's form a backcourt of Dame and Shai. But they have Josh Giddey, so that kind of makes things weird. I don't know. And then you got like Cat Gobert. We have to trade Simons. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to form my own trade with Dame. It's not going to be easy, but there's a couple teams that I think could maybe come up with the assets to do it. Like I said, if I'm trading Damian Lillard, in my opinion, I would want a haul for him. He's still playing the best basketball of his career right now, so let's go ahead and see what team would be willing to offer that haul for us to walk away pretty nicely. I've mapped out 4 teams that I think make sense for a Damian Lillard trade that might actually have the assets to pull it off. So the first team we're going to talk about, and that makes sense to trade for a point guard. First team we're going to talk about is the Pelicans. They could reunite Dame and CJ, and they actually have assets to maybe pull something off like that. So that's the first team we can maybe talk to. I think Denver as well kind of has an interesting package where they could throw like Michael Porter together with Zignaji, Christian Brown. So that could be something as well. And out of the box idea, the Nets also, I guess, if they wanted to quickly turn it around and throw Dame with Bridges and Ben Simmons or whatever they decide to do there, that's also an idea. The other out of the box idea that I have is with Toronto. Instead of always trying to get one of the Toronto players, with Toronto got our best player, because we all know Blazers fans have been obsessed with Toronto's players in Siakam and OG Anunoby. Let's say they got Dame instead, and it's like a totally Uno reverse card. So I kind of like the idea. And again, the Raptors didn't even trade Scotty Barnes for Kevin Durant, so who knows? I don't think they'd actually trade Scotty Barnes for Damian Lillard. Don't see that actually happening, but you know what? We're going to throw it together anyway, and let's just see, because the Raptors don't own a lot of draft picks either because of future trades that they have made. Let's say they can trade maybe just a couple, though. So maybe it's like they keep OG as well. So they have Siakam, Dame, OG, and then you obviously are trading Scotty Barnes. But Scotty Barnes would fit our timeline, which is why I think this could be a good package in return. So it's Scotty Barnes, Koloko, and then like, I mean, whether it's Achua or whatever. So Barnes, Koloko, Achua, and then you give what I think Raptors maybe they can only trade. Maybe let's say, for instance, they can only trade 2 first-round picks. So this could be your package that you get in return. So let's see if they agree to that. They want a couple seconds. They'll throw me Malachi Flynn. And I think that is going to be a done deal for me. So the Raptors walk away with Damian Lillard. And we have reset our team and got Scotty Barnes. So I'm going to go ahead and help out Toronto and move Siakam to power forward for them. That way they can re-sign Gary Trent. They can re-sign Jakob Poeltl. And they can have themselves a contender in the East. Because the Raptors seems like they're still trying to win. So they get Damian Lillard. Kind of an out-of-the-box idea, I know. And again, I don't know if they'd actually trade Scotty Barnes. So Simons, Scotty Barnes, we still have Nurkic, but we went ahead and we took care of Damian Lillard. He is gone, and now we've went through and we chose the young timeline. That's what we did, and I feel pretty good about the return we got. The next move we're doing is we're going to go ahead and send Yusuf Nurkic over to the Mavericks for Tim Hardaway and Jaden Hardy. So we're going to get another young player. We are taking on a little bit of an interesting contract, but we want to sell on Nurkic, and we get at least one young piece out of it. So gonna go ahead and make this trade happen. We get Tim Hardaway and Jaden Hardy. So now Nurkic is officially gone. And like I said, we have officially chosen the young timeline. So that is taken care of now. And now it is time to resign our free agents. Jeremy Grant, I will not be resigning. He is going to be gone. Yeah, I could sign and trade him, but I'm just going to leave him be. So he is gone. So now I just want to go ahead and probably sign like Cameron Reddish back. I'll probably sign Thibault back as well. So let's just go ahead and choose to renounce Grant. He can go elsewhere. And I'll go ahead and re-sign both Thibault to they're going to be really cheap as well, 3 or 6 million. I'll give Reddish like 4-year, 9 million, something like that. So boom, get Reddish and Thibault back. We've chosen the young timeline of this roster. Eubanks, do we need a backup center? So we have Thompson, Flynn. We're actually going to move Simons to point guard now. So Simons go to the point guard. So I'll have that going for us. It'll be Simons, Thompson, Shaedon Sharpe, Dariq Whitehead, Thibault. You'll have Nasir Little, Tim Hardaway, Cameron Reddish, Scotty Barnes, Trendon Watford, and then Achua and Koloko. So yeah, we don't even need Eubanks back. So this is your Portland Trailblazers roster. We are in full-on rebuild mode at this point, and that is this decision we have made. So will this team suck next year? Absolutely, but that's okay. We have finally chosen our direction. Scotty Barnes and Simons is a good start, though, and then Shaedon Sharpe will keep developing. Achua, 79 overall. So overall, I feel pretty good about where we're at as a team now. We're going to just go into next season. No expectations, and let's just see how this team does. We could technically, led by Barnes and Simons, still make the playoffs or the play-in. Technically, we still could. The new rotation is Simons, Shaedon Sharpe as our backcourt. Very excited about that. Cameron Reddish at our small forward. Hopefully, he pops off for the Blazers, by the way. I'm rooting for Cameron Reddish. I really am. Scotty Barnes at the 4, Achua at the 5, Amon Thompson, Trendon Watford, Tim Hardaway, Nasir Little, and then Dariq Whitehead. You have Koloko and Hardy out of the rotation at the moment. We will probably end up trading Tim Hardaway at the deadline to free him up and see if a team would be willing to take him on. But other than that, we're just going to simulate this season, see how this team does, and hopefully this Blazers team surprises us in many ways. So we are at the trade deadline, and I said I was going to go ahead and trade Tim Hardaway, and I will do just that. The Miami Heat are buying in on Tim Hardaway right now. He is currently averaging 10 points per game for us on decent efficiency, so he'd play a larger role in Miami and fit their time a little bit better. So We are going to trade him for Duncan Robinson. That's going to free up minutes for another guy to jump into the rotation, which is what we're trying to accomplish here. So Koloko will be in the rotation. I'm actually just going to go ahead and make this 11 deep. Why not? Let's give Jaden Hardy some minutes as well. Let's rock with Jaden Hardy, and this will be our rotation for the rest of the season. I feel pretty good about it. We're going to keep simulating. Let's see how we do. And right now, we're 25-30 in the play-in tournament, so very good chance here that we actually make the playoffs, maybe. Jokic wins MVP for a third time. Henderson Rookie of the Year on the Rockets. Cole, 6-man. AD Defensive Player. Mobley Most Improved. And Biggerstaff is your Coach of the Year. Here's all defense first team, all defensive tech and team. We're clearly not going to have any all-NBA guys, but if we take a look at our player stats this season, we do have 23 from Simons, 19 from Barnes, and 16 from Shaedon Sharpe, who is in a much larger role now. Reddish with 10.5. 10 from Thompson, and then 10 from Achua with 10 rebounds as well. 8 from Trendon Watford, 6 from Dariq Whitehead, 5.5 from Jaden Hardy. So not too bad overall. Let's see if we can get past the Suns in the play-in tournament, which is kind of weird that they're even here at this point. If they went out and got Kevin Durant and kept making the play-in tournament, that is not where this team would want to be. But let's go ahead and see. The fact that we eliminated the Suns is an absolute joke. But we get the Lakers now. Have D'Lo, Terrence Ross, Vanderbilt, John Wall is there as well. Do we get into the playoffs? We do not. So we are not going to have our first round pick this offseason. It is going to finally convey to Chicago. Let's go ahead and see who wins a championship. He's got the Lakers upsetting the Thunder. The Lakers make it all the way to the NBA Finals to play the Sixers. And LeBron James is going to retire with another championship as AD wins Finals MVP. LeBron James absolutely going out like a king, retiring on a championship. I'm going to leave him be. That's amazing. Chris Paul retiring as well. He's like, all right, I've had enough of this. Let's go to the draft lottery now. So like I said, our pick is going to go to the Bulls this year. Hopefully it doesn't jump up to like the top 10. And no, it is the 12th pick. So we miss out on the 12th pick. And then I don't think we have a pick at all in this draft. So Spurs get number 1. And now it is time to just focus on what we currently have right now. So I'm ecstatic that we even, kind of almost got out of the play-in. We have something we could be very excited about with Shaedon Sharpe, Simons, and Scotty Barnes. I think that's a pretty nice trio to start out with. Again, I don't know if the Raptors would ever do that. But, we're just having fun in the game today. So let's see. Is there anything I can do at the deadline that I need to trade away? We have all these draft picks now, which is nice. But I don't think there's anyone here that I'm looking to be like, okay, I need to get him off this team. Duncan Robinson, yeah, I could trade him right now, but I mean, we're not using our cap space on anybody special anyway, so he can just stick around. Player options, we're going to accept everybody here. We're going to eventually have to pay a lot of young guys. Qualifying offers, got Achua, who is a free agent. I wouldn't mind him back, but at the same time, I don't even know if I want him to be my starting center going forward. We got Flynn and Kevin Knox. I'm not bringing them back either. So what center could I sign if I didn't get Achua back, though? He's got like Bull out here, which is interesting. Vucevic, Joe Val, Thomas Bryant, Okongwu, Jalen Duren, Pokusevski, and then Chua, of course, Naz Reid. So if I take a look at what is available, I kind of like the idea of bringing Bull to Portland. So you have Bull, Scotty Barnes is your front court. That could be very, very interesting. So Simons, Thompson, Shaedon Sharpe, Dariq Whitehead, Nasir Little, Reddish. You got Scotty Barnes, Watford, and then we have Koloko, who's developing right now as well. Or we could bring back Achua, which we could probably do that. If we can sign Bull, and then have him play center, and then bring back Achua as well, we're going to have the idea of potentially, being able to make another trade. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off, but I'm going to try. So Bull, let's pay the man. It looks like we do have to renounce Achua. Can I maybe do this? Oh, I don't have to. So we can renounce Kevin Knox. We can sign Achua and Bull together, which I think would be phenomenal. So let's sign Achua back now, and we're going to have the ability to use these guys in some trades, potentially at the deadline, to upgrade whatever position we see pleasable. So let's move Bull to center now. He'll be our brand new center here in Portland. So it'll be Simons, Thompson, Sharpe, Dariq Whitehead, Nasir Little, Reddish, Barnes, Watford, and then Bull, Achua, and Koloko. Not too bad. Let's go to player progression. Let's see where we're at as far as player progression is concerned. So we take a real quick look. You got Scotty Barnes up to an 89, Simons up to an 87, Shaedon Sharpe is up, Bull is up. So everyone is progressing, and that's a good sign. And we have a lot of assets at this point that we can make a big trade at the deadline. Got Duncan Robinson's contract as well. We're in a good position now. So I will see you guys at the deadline where we can maybe pull off a very, very interesting trade. If there's something available, of course. So I'm at the trade deadline, and just made a trade with the Nets. I did not expect them to accept that right away. I offered it thinking they were going to counter me, and I grabbed Nick Claxton from them. So it only cost me Achua and Bull. Not too bad. I'll go ahead and take that. Did not think that was going to go through. So now we have Nick Claxton as our brand new center. So it's Simon, Shaedon Sharpe, Reddish still the small forward, Scotty Barnes. Claxton is that upgrade at center with Thompson, Watford, Nasir Little, and Dariq Whitehead. And you still have Hardy, Keon Johnson, Koloko. We still have a lot of depth. So we can still theoretically make another trade for like a better small forward if we wanted to. I just don't know like what I should go get. Could be a lot of fun to just like go all in here because we do like the roster we have. Like maybe getting like an AJ Griffin could fit the timeline, but we're going to have to start paying a lot of guys. And we have Cameron Reddish on a very cheap deal. So I think we're better off just kind of sticking with what we just did there. And now we have Claxton, who I think is going to be a much better upgrade at what we had at center with an 86 overall. So we're going to stick with it. Simon, Sharp, Reddish, Barnes, Claxton, Thompson, Watford, Nasir Little, Dariq Whitehead. And then we also could, like I said, just move Thompson to small forward. And then he is up to an 80 overall. But I'll leave him at point guard for now. So if we want to go that route, ever we can. So it's available to us. And now we got our upgrade at center. We got Barnes. I think this team is going to make the playoffs. And who knows? Our ceiling could be championship, maybe? Probably not, but we'll see. So we made ourselves into the play-in once again. Let's take a look at how the stats ended this season. So you had 23 from Simons, 23 from Shaden Sharp, which is very intriguing. Barnes with 20. 12 from Cameron Reddish, 11 from Claxton, and 8 from Dariq Whitehead, 8 from Thompson, and then 7 from Trent Watford. So let's go ahead and simulate and see, and we do get eliminated once again. So let's go ahead and figure out who's going to win a championship. You got the Thunder and the Rockets. You got the Thunder going all the way to the finals. They got Shea, and I think they also have Victor Wembanyama, by the way. So who knows if we're ever going to be able to beat the Thunder, because they have Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama. So we're going to have to really put together a really good team if we're going to even have a shot. And I want to do that this offseason. So we have all the assets in the world. We're going to have to re-sign some guys as well. We have some draft picks here. So we're projected 13, and I think that's it. So let's see where our pick falls. We get, what pick was that? What pick we get? Oh, we got 4. Wow, we jumped up to 4. That's crazy. I was looking for my pick in like the midsection, and no, it's at number 4. All right, staff signing. Chauncey Billups is no longer a head coach at the moment. I could sign like a Nick Nurse or, yeah, you know what? Give me Nick Nurse to be my new head coach. Just kidding. He doesn't sign. I had to overpay the hell out of him. Okay. Chauncey, I'm sorry. I tried to get somebody else, but I'll just bring you back. So Chauncey Billups will bring him back, and then we'll just fill the rest of this out. And now I will be looking to make my big trade this offseason to probably go all in at that small forward spot. I'm taking Trey Johnson here at number 4. I think he's going to be like worth a lot. So he is going to get us somebody very damn good if we decide to keep him, which I actually probably won't. Player options got Shaden Sharp, Thompson, Dariq Whitehead, and Duncan Robinson all back. So that's even more money we can throw in a trade. All these restricted free agents as well. We are in such a good position right now. Jason Tatum's a free agent, and Magic could have traded for him. But Barnes is somebody we're going to have to re-sign. Giannis is a free agent. Evan Mobley is a free agent. All right, let's take a look at what small forwards or even forwards in general would be available, because we could technically move Barnes to small forward if we wanted to. So forwards that are available that we could trade for. I don't want Kevin Durant. Zion, we have the ammunition to trade for some of these guys. Jaren Jackson in the last year of his contract is interesting. If Memphis would be one to give him up. Jimmy Butler, Siakam, Franz Wagner, Barnes, Cat. We just have so many assets that I kind of just want to go all in on something. RJ Barrett's having a career year in New York, averaging 26 points per game. Markkanen, Ingram, Kawhi, Andrew Wiggins, Collins, Middleton, Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson would be a significant upgrade if we got him from San Antonio, and then AJ Griffin here as well. You know what? Let's go for Keldon Johnson. He'd be a pretty damn good upgrade, and it probably wouldn't even cost me too much. So let's save it through Duncan Robinson here, and then Dariq Whitehead. Something like this. Oh, they're getting to the point where they can't accept it. Let's say I threw my 2026 unprotected. Would they agree to that? They do not. Dariq Whitehead's making $4 million. Let's say you gave me, do you have any minimums you don't care about? That doesn't look like it. So yeah, it's going to be hard to trade for Keldon Johnson. Let's go back to another player. The other guy I was kind of looking at was Jaren Jackson. So Jaren Jackson, nothing pops on the trade finder. Don't know if Memphis would be willing to get rid of him on the last year of his contract, but we do have a good haul that we could throw their way. So let's say it's something like this. They don't agree to it. Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting too crazy here. I know I have to put together a very good roster. We'll wait. We'll give it a second. Let's just re-sign everybody, then we'll go from there. So I'm signing all my restricted free agents back, other than maybe Keon Johnson. So Barnes, I guess I had to match, even though I gave him an offer. So Koloko and Jaden Hardy are back, who are all up to 77 overalls right now. Keon Johnson, I'm not as worried about, and we still have the ability to sign like another really good free agent right now. But I think I might just not worry about Keon Johnson, and if he comes back as qualifying offer, that's great. If not, I'm not really too concerned with it. So player progression, we got Keon Johnson back, so kind of figured. So Barnes, Simon, Sharp, and then Claxton are all in great development here. Trey Johnson is someone we just brought in, and I really do think we could use him in a big trade. We don't really need him, although he is very talented. Although what we could do is move like Sharp. There's so many options we have here that is just so overwhelming on what decision I should make here. I could like just throw together a super team right now if I really wanted to, but I'm also trying to teeter the line of realism in a way as well. So Jaren Jackson, Collins, AJ Griffin. A lot of good options here. Desmond Baines playing small forward for the Charlotte Hornets, I guess. So Cameron Whitmore, RJ, the Knicks are the 7th seed. RJ Barrett could be a very good get. The Lakers have Jaylen Brown for whatever reason. The Magic, Markkanen's in Brooklyn now. Porter hasn't really developed too much. Benedict Mathurin, Zion. Yeah, I could get Zion, but I just think that'd be out of left field. So I think at this point, we stick with what we got. I think we have so many assets. Maybe the trade deadline, I changed my mind. Let's just move someone to small forward. Let's not start Little or Reddish anymore. Let's move someone we want to move at small forward. So is it Trey Johnson? He's up to an 82. Is it Shaedon Sharp? He's up to an 88. 6'5", not the tallest small forward, but I don't think it'll matter too much in 2K. So Trey Johnson would get the start. Shaedon Sharp, Barnes, Claxton. That's what we're going to roll with. I don't know if it'll work. That's what we're going to roll with, and we'll see how it goes. And we're going to go into this next season with contender expectations. I think we're at the point where we could be a contender. Cade Cunningham wins MVP. Don't see that very often. And at this point, we ended up being a top 4 seed in the West to be the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. So we got to the point where we were kind of in contender status. I tried to make a trade the deadline. Didn't see anything that I liked. So it was just 26, 24, 21, 11. You got 10 from Trey Johnson, 9 from Amin Thompson, 9 from Claxton, 6 from Wofford, and then 6 from Nasir Little. So let's see what we can do against Denver in round 1. I'm hoping at this point we've gotten this far that we come out here and we win. Trey Johnson will only keep developing as well. So right now the starting 5 we have is only going to keep getting better. It's kind of nasty. The bench is only going to keep getting better as well. The semi-current round against Denver, and we are going to beat them in 5 games. That's a great start. Now I get to deal with Houston, who do have Scoot Henderson, Kuzma, and then Kevin Porter Jr. off the bench, and then Jeremy Grant as well. So game by game here against Houston, beat them by 7 to start things off. Simons was huge. Trey Johnson already averaging 12 in the playoffs. No, I thought it'd be more than that, but 2-0, not to hype up 12 points per game. But game 3, 3-0. We're going to sweep the Rockets. We do. We take care of the Rockets, and now we get the ultimate test, which is the Thunder, who have Wembanyama, Avdia, Dort, Giddey, Shea, and Chet Holmgren. So yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup, but I like our roster on paper. Can we beat them is the question. 1-0 start, 23, 15, and 6. 28 from Barnes. Game 2. All right. Are we going to sweep the Thunder? No freaking way. Okay. They won 1. They went. Don't let them come back. Come on. Come on. Ooh, I was about to say. Okay. We beat them in 6. And now we play Trae Young and the Hawks. All right. Trae Young, Murray, Griffin, Collins, Capella, Hunter. We got this far. 1-0 lead for them. We even it up. Can we go 3-1 or 2-1? 3-1? No. Game 5. We got to win it. Yes. Can we beat them at 6? Yes, we can. Let's go, baby. We've won a championship, and unfortunately, we did it without Damian Lillard. But at the end of the day, this is the kind of path the Blazers could go on. This summer is going to be pivotal. I don't know what this pivotal, if I could say it right. Don't know what the Blazers are going to do to cook up a contender in one offseason. It's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to end it off there. I'll be back tomorrow with another post-trade deadline rebuild. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.